I'd like to call this meeting to order. We have the prayer and the pledge by Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas.
We'll start off with the Lord's Prayer. In the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Please place the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas.
Present.
Councilmember Brooke Morcott. Here. Councilmember Warren White.
Here.
Councilmember Troy Como.
Here.
Councilmember David Merrill.
Here.
Councilmember Ron Davis.
Here.
Councilmember Dan Doyle.
Here.
We have it.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is public comment. Do we have any cards?
No cards.
No cards? All right, then we move to item 2A, Madam Clerk.
Acceptance of the minutes, a regular meeting of February 4th, 2025, which will be published on February 19th, 2025.
I need a motion.
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas and Councilman Ron Davis. And is there any discussion on our minutes from February the 4th? Hearing, seeing none. And I'd ask you to please vote your machines. Jane.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you all very much. Item 3A.
Public hearing related to 2627 LCDBG projects. Person to address the council regarding potential 2627 LCDBG projects. Motion to open the public.
Yeah, I need a motion to open our public hearing.
Motion.
Councilwoman Brooke Marcotte, and a second by Councilman Warren White. Is there anyone in the audience to comment on this? Hearing and seeing none. I need a motion to close our public hearing.
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas and Councilman David Merrill. That's it. And these projects, just to tell you for a second, these projects, we're looking at a variety of things from we have to spend the money in the disproportionately impacted low to moderate income tracts. That's what this money is for. So we are looking at possibly more demos to clean up more property. We're looking at possible sewer repairs. We're going to look at possible road repairs to go along with our road program. The Dore property offers a unique perspective that, because we are actively looking for nonprofits, we're interviewing 3 clinics, you know, that project is beginning to move. Possibly we could marry that with some of the money. So this is all for 26, 27, but these are just the steps we're taking. And then as it gets closer, we'll hire some consultants and we'll, you know, do what we do. Yes, sir.
This is a grant. We got to apply for it, correct?
Yes, these
Okay.
are grants.
Right,
It
so-
doesn't mean we're getting anything.
No dollar amount attached to it right now.
No,
Okay.
no, and they are maximum dollar amounts for each category. It's enough to help. It's not enough to really do a big project, but look, we'll take whatever we can get. Thank you all very much. 4A.
Ordinances for public hearing and adoption. Ordinance number 2025-03, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to negotiate and execute an agreement by and between the City of New Iberia and Manville and Associates LLC for administration of various grant projects.
I need a motion to open this public hearing.
Motion.
Councilman David Merrill and Councilman Ron Davis. Is there anyone from the public to comment on this? Seeing none, hearing none, I need a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas and Councilwoman Brooke Marcotte. Now I need a main motion.
Motion.
Councilwoman Brooke Marcotte, I need a second.
Second.
Councilman Warren White. And is there any discussion on this main motion? This is to hire, yes, sir.
I see you have a maximum fee that we can pay them until, you know, after that, I guess it comes to the council,
Yes.
go to you before.
Yes.
Is that maximum fee per project?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Then I'd ask you to please vote your machines. Thank you. Good? 5A.
Resolutions. Resolution number 2510, a resolution awarding contract to Concrete Revolution LLC for the City Prosecutor Office remodel project and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documentation in connection therewith.
I need a motion.
Moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas. Now I need a second.
Second.
Councilman Troy Como. This is a small project that the courts are paying for. It is some renovations. I think we have a few dollars in there too, but it's some renovation of the city's prosecutor's office, and I see she's here tonight, and it desperately needs some renovations. Is there any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
What is our amount that we're coming up with? You say that the court is paying for most of
I want to say we had 24,000
it,
or
out of the 38,600?
34,000. 41, okay, 41.
41?
Yes, 41.
All right.
The money is already in the budget that's been approved.
Yeah, and it actually was in the budget last year, and we didn't do it, so
Okay,
we carried it
alright.
over. So it's
Alright.
not new money, but
It's
it's
a carryover.
a carryover from last year.
All right.
We just didn't get to it. We were busy renovating the courtroom.
Question.
Yes, sir.
Nicole, when this work's going on, you gonna be able to function to the general public pretty good, or you gonna have some difficulties?
Yeah, so we're gonna move into the, we're actually in the process of right now, we're gonna move into the clerk's office. I'm sorry.
Yeah, come on up.
Okay, we're gonna move into the clerk's office. So my assistant Gail will be using their window, so people can come up and use their window as well, so she'll be able to still be able to deal with the public. They can come in and at the window right there, and then I'll be in the conference room. So we should be,
So you got a plan? That's-
We do. We have a
I knew
plan.
it's- I knew it's tight up there, that's what.
yes, it is, yeah, but we should be able to do it for, it should be a couple of weeks, and that's it.
Okay. And a question too.
Yes, sir.
Y'all, that's a lot of stuff need to be done. Y'all must have had some real work that need to be done up there.
Yeah.
So what we're doing, there's a storage room behind the
We're enlarging it.
office.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna take down that wall. I think
Okay,
it's
all
so
right.
we are moving some walls.
All right, so it's gonna
That's
make
the-
a lot of more room.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and the
Alright.
storage room is
I
kind
got
of
you.
unfinished, and, look, I mean, we have touched almost every floor and every part and piece of this building. That's one of the few areas that has not been renovated, so
Okay.
it's, and while we at it, we might as well make it bigger and make it function.
Okay, all right.
How soon is your startup?
I'm sorry, what?
How soon will this start up?
I actually have the owner of Concrete Revolution on text message, and I asked him, I said, how, if the council approves it tonight, how soon can you start? And he said, I can start lining people up ASAP to get going, which would be great because we do have the Mardi Gras holidays coming up, and court will be slowed down for a little bit, so it'll be nice to just jump in there and get that done, so we're not that disruptive to anybody.
I asked because I want to come and take a look or walk through.
Oh yeah, you can come by and come look,
Okay.
yeah.
Everybody good? Then I'd ask you please vote your machines. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you all. 5B.
Resolution 2511, a resolution approving change order 3 for the Ann Street Park project, facility planning and control number ML1-2203, and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documentation in connection therewith.
This is some benches we're adding that Councilman Davis had requested. Let's get a motion.
So
Councilman Ron Davis, and a second by Councilwoman Brooke Markcott. And David, tell us about it.
All right, so this is our last change order on the project. You'll see the next item is actually for the substantial completion. So this project, we had a construction budget of $350,000. Project came in under budget. We used a little bit on a previous change order. So this change order is just to use the remaining funds to get down to zero. This is state money and city money, so we don't want to give it back from the state level. So we're going to use it all. We're working with the contractor. We're looking at some benches for the basketball court and for the park area. So.
Yes, sir.
the park looks great, especially since we painted the courts and got the lights there. I see, and another one of the packets here that we still have to do some lighting. Is it lighting or the security?
The lighting, it's actually, if you go by today, they've been installed.
Oh, really? Okay, all right. But I've seen the activity and the runoff from the mulch seemed like
Yes.
it is corrected.
That was a positive
holdup.
solution.
That
It
was the
worked.
holdup.
Yeah, that was kind of the holdup. It worked. We moved past it,
Right.
and now the courts are coded, and everything's gonna work out right, great.
Okay.
So,
Because my people are excited.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're excited
There's
too.
been much going on there, and we want to try to get it going. So
Absolutely.
hopefully we can control the rush.
Yep.
Chris, they didn't have any
Sir.
benches there before?
No,
sir.
it wasn't part of the project.
Nope,
Or it wasn't?
nope.
Okay.
Again, you wait till the end and see what you got left.
I think it's a good idea, because I think, you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
in
no,
the
you're
park
gonna
area, you
have-
need to have some benches
Yeah,
and stuff.
definitely. We knew we'd have to add them. We
Right,
just didn't
right.
know if the project would have enough money or if we'd have to
Okay.
come back after.
I got you.
And these are the standard benches we use throughout the city and all the parks.
Right, right,
It's the
right.
black ones with the
Right,
horizontal
right.
bars, about 6 foot wide, really heavy duty.
They'll be bolted down?
They'll
Right,
be bolted down.
right.
Yeah.
It's nice to have, because, I mean, with the kiddie park, parents will be walking their kids out and have a place to sit, because there's
Exactly.
no parking, so
Right.
yeah, that's a big plus.
That's good.
Anybody else? Then I'd ask you to please vote your machines. Thank you very much. Now we move on, same project, 5C.
So,
Resolution 2512, a resolution approving certificate of substantial completion for the Ansford Park project. Facility planning and control, number 50 ML1 2203, and authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documentations in connection therewith.
I need a motion.
So move.
second.
Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, second Councilman Ron Davis. Is there any questions or comments on our substantial completion?
I got some questions.
All right.
All of these that I was reading, when I was reading it earlier, why wasn't these things done when they was doing the project?
So, what we were trying to do is get the park open. And so in
Okay.
order to get the park open, we need to complete up to 95% of the project. And that's when we hit substantial completion. That doesn't mean the park is 100% complete. It just means it's complete enough that the user can use the facility. And
Right.
then you got the few little items to address.
The rest of the
So-
punch
And
list.
that's what I was asking, because it's small items, you know, that's why I was asking.
Exactly. So we don't want to just keep holding the project from not
Yeah.
being open.
Okay.
Wait till it's 100% perfect. We really, it's time to open it. So
That was part of it
And
anyway.
that's normal,
Exactly, yeah.
punch list, you know.
Okay.
Plus, you
Yeah.
gotta release the contractor's money, because we're
Yeah,
holding
right.
10% of the whole project. When he
Right,
hits
right.
that threshold,
Right.
he wants his money.
Yeah,
Got you,
yeah.
got you.
Yes, sir.
Mayor,
Oh, we
and
finished?
being in a business of doing, that's why we hired them, to make sure, because you might get a book this thick to bid a project. And all these little things might not be addressed, and that's why we hire somebody like them to make sure everything's addressed.
Right.
But as they mentioned, that you don't want to hold up the project, that happens in my business too. They come behind you and give you a little less before they give you all the money.
Right,
You
right.
know, and you get it done if you want your money. If
Yep.
not,
Right.
yeah. So that's what it's really worth us
Safety.
having them to oversee these projects, you know.
Good.
Thank you.
We have some
Councilman Trucco.
photos behind you if anyone hasn't been by there. Jane can flip through them. We have the playground equipment's installed. It's already been tested. Basketball court installed, fresh coating. Yeah, that's high school level markings on it. So,
Where the benches gonna be?
let's see. We're probably gonna put one bench on the side of the basketball court, where the light pole is, and then another one will probably be behind that, or you could see like kind of to the left,
it's over
right
that
next to
way.
that planter
Right.
area. That's probably a good little spot to put it, but we'll try to figure it out with the best way so we don't impede on traffic flow and
Right.
not in the middle of the walkway or something.
Councilman Trucco.
So the values that are next to the punch list are just the values of what needs
Yeah,
to
we
be done?
withhold that amount. That's in the
It's not
retainer.
extra, it's.
No, no,
It's
no.
the value that's being withheld until those.
Yeah, and once those items
punched
are
out.
finished and completed, and they're satisfactory to us, then we release that payment.
Gotcha. Just want to make sure I understood
It
correctly.
just holds the contractor
No,
accountable.
I understand the process.
Yeah.
I agree with it totally, but I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and that happens on every project. Yes, sir.
The lights, these lights are gonna come on dusk to dawn, or will they be turned on by
They're-
a switch?
I think that's sort of a combination. We allowed I know the park is gonna operate from dusk till dawn, so the lights are gonna be more for just security in case someone does get in the park. It's
Right.
not just a dark park.
Correct.
That would just be one light that's gonna stay on. The other two, those are gonna be kind of on a timer system. So, in the event that they want to have it open after hours, the Parks Department has the ability to adjust the timer to make sure it stays on, like if there's a night game or something like that. We just try to keep it flexible. That's the program right now for the Parks Department, but, you know, things can change, and so we wanna, have all that infrastructure in place. So, whether it's on a timer or a photo cell, both are there.
Okay. So in other words, too, if the power goes out, you may have to reset this timer
Correct.
to get back.
Yeah, and the timer is up high, so the users can't access it, and they get a ladder to get up there.
Right, right, right.
And the Parks Department already reviewed all this, and they felt like it gave them options. So,
Great.
Well, we have Clico,
Yes,
the
sir.
lights don't ever go out.
Not downtown.
When is it gonna open? Do you know?
well, we're gonna, I mean, once this is approved tonight, the city gets their insurance in place, and they'll decide on when they wanna open it.
Oh, okay.
We're gonna have a grand opening, we're gonna have a ribbon cut, and of course, you know, we
Gonna
get
know
the
early, right?
community out, so.
Make sure Miss Dee
forget
Dee
about
is
Dee Dee.
here.
Oh,
You're gonna know
we
early, right?
already have planned that because they were such
around
an
those schedules.
integral
Yes.
part.
Long time
And
coming.
invite the council members who were
Right,
here.
right.
Cause they started it, and yeah, we,
Well, to answer your
And what are the
question,
hours? From what
dusk
time
to
to what-
dawn, that's a park, like some other
like the-
things that we have coming, the bathrooms downtown, a few things is gonna be locked and unlocked every day. So I'm sorry, Parks and Rec, when they get to work, somebody's gonna have the job of unlocking that park, and someone's gonna have the task of locking it. Same thing with the bathrooms downtown. And as we do new things, that's kinda how they're gonna be coming online. Yes, sir.
This has been a long time coming, and we are looking to have a good grand opening, ribbon cutting ceremony for the public board. I'd like to see y'all come. We have some other organizations that may take part.
Yes.
We're looking to really have a good little time out there for the public to be able to enjoy. So
Okay,
we'll keep you posted.
sounds good.
Everybody good?
Yes.
And I'd ask you to please vote your machines. Thank you very much. 5D.
Resolution number 2513, resolution authorizing the mayor to execute amendment number 1 to the AIAB 101 2017 contract for American Rescue Act upgrades to Steamboat Pavilion project.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas.
Second.
Second, Councilman David Merrill. These next ones are adjusting the design architectural fees because what we did on December 31st was take all of the ARPA money that was left so that we didn't lose it or have to send it back. And so we adjusted projects with things that we wanted to get done, but what we haven't done yet is adjust the professional fees. Right, David?
That's correct.
Okay.
So these are what we call amendments to the contract. Basically, in the contract, there are certain line items, and we're making an alteration to that line item. So, on each one of these next three, you'll see Article 1.1.3 talks about the budget for the project. We list that in the contract, so this is just revising that to reflect those change orders. The next line item, Article 11.1.1, talks about our fee sum and what it was originally, and then what we're adjusting it to. So,
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if I'm understanding correctly, when we approved the original budget, your fees were stated on the original budget this council approved, and then if we adopt an amendment, your fees are assessed through the new amendment amount of budget.
correct, that was,
Okay.
that was. an
Right, because we don't know if we
increase.
can do the amendments.
Right.
Right, it
What
was
is
the
it, 10%, it's all by the state fee curve, so, you know, you spend $45,000 more, you owe.
That's correct, that's correct,
So,
yeah.
And we have a tendency to.
Which is the right way to do it.
Yeah, we have a tendency to move slow, to do a lot of projects, but to hold things till the end. Or in this case, like I said, this was money that we weren't sending back to Washington. So, we made some adjustments with the last council to let these things happen, so. Anybody else?
When does that plan to open, Steamboat Pavilion?
So we're in the middle of the closeout process right now. Last week, the fire marshal approved the building for occupancy.
Okay.
It's a major hurdle. Now we have a punch list that's taking place. Our engineers are going to look at it this week. I'm going next week. And then, next meeting, I'll bring the substantial completion to the board,
Okay.
to the council.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so
It's
very, very,
coming.
very soon.
It's coming. Anybody else? And please vote your machines. Thank you very much. 5E.
Resolution number 2514, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute amendment number 1 to the AIAB 101-2017 contract for American Rescue Plan Act Community Centered Restroom Upgrades Project.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Dan Dahl. Do I have a second? Councilman Ron Davis. Thank you. I don't know, would someone on this side?
It's fine.
Oh, okay,
Just so we,
sorry.
I'm tired of people asking us about the bathrooms.
Dave?
So similarly, we adjusted, originally we had a $200,000 project. That went up to a $464,000. We increased the scope to include more work, more improvements, and more facilities.
More bathrooms, more parks.
Yeah. So again, the fee is reflective of that increase. Just to give you a heads up on the project, we had our pre-construction meeting with the contractor and his subs. They're ready to get going. They're just trying to work through their scheduling. There's a lot of events happening at the community center. There's also other construction projects happening at the community center, so they're trying to orchestrate that all together. I'm thinking sometime in March they'll get going. We'll shut the bathrooms down in stages, so not to interfere with the events plan. We know some events have bigger demands than others, so it's just trying to all get that under wrap with the contractor.
The good thing, both community centers have more than one set of bathrooms, so we'll shut down 2 bathrooms, work on them, get them finished, then move to the other 2, so that's a
That was a
blessing.
question I had.
Yes, sir.
Because we had a project we was looking at trying to rent for June, you know, the board that we have, that we do some things with. And the bathrooms came into play a few times when we rented the buildings. So I just want to know if you think some of those bathrooms in City Park area might be ready around that time.
In City Park,
Yeah,
I think definitely probably the first stage or phase of the bathroom work will probably be completed.
Okay.
So, if you're familiar with the City Park restrooms, the front restrooms in the lobby are likely gonna be paired with the restrooms on the teen side.
okay,
Because they're kind of the 2 smaller, middle-sized groups, and then the bigger one by the stage that one's gonna be its own group. So once one's finished, then we'll close it and switch
cool.
and do the work.
Yeah, I was asking, we did a ball, and then we did another function, you know,
Yeah.
earlier during the year.
Right,
One was in West End, one was in City Park, and the bathrooms came into play, you know, so
yeah.
just wanted to let them know.
And I know you guys weren't around, but maybe listened in, but the scope is basically, we're gonna strip everything down back to the block. We're gonna
Okay.
take all the floors up, you know, redo
Cool,
all
cool.
the finishes, all the toilets, all the partitions, all the accessories.
That'll be great,
Yeah, I mean, it's
Most
gonna
needed.
be a complete makeover.
okay.
And the one thing that we have to do, sewer department is helping with that. We are cameraing the pipes because to make sure that we don't have an issue. Those pipes in both gyms are from like 1960. So we could end up having a change order, I'll tell you already, if we find too much rust and scale and we need to line those pipes. But we're not gonna spend this much money and then have a bathroom that doesn't function, so.
Thank you. Think that
Anyway,
needs
so
to
that's
be
the
done.
first
Yeah,
thing, that's the
yeah.
one thing left to do.
Say if you run across this terracotta pipe, which is typical.
These are
in
cast
building that
iron.
old.
These are
These are cast iron.
That's even worse, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I wish they were terracotta, but it's
So-
cast iron, so we'll see how bad it is. If it's just a little flake and rust, we can clean it. If it's bad, we can line it. If it's
Line it.
really bad, the other thing you can do is get a jackhammer, but by the time you score and break slab and do all of that, that's the most
Big
expensive.
amendment.
So what we're hoping to do is just clean them, and our next thing is we're hoping to line them. And we're putting power assist toilets, so that should help as well, or some, you know, a much more upgraded toilet than what's
right,
there.
Yeah.
So that'll help as well.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Who was the contractor for that project?
Delcon, DELCON.
And where were they from?
They have an address of Prairieville, but I think they operate out of the Morgan City, Berwick area.
I
Yes.
think you're right.
Yeah, that's what he said.
You're right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else? All good? And I'd ask, please vote your machines. Thank you. 5F.
Okay, resolution 2515, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute amendment number 1 to the AIA B101 2017 contract for American Rescue Act Block 1 at a time, home repairs for seniors, low income, and disabled communities project.
I just found it.
I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas, Councilman Ron Davis. The Mayor Pro Tem just pointed out,
Yeah.
let me look.
So referencing the home.
Yeah, we're gonna have one little thing, it's kind of a paste and copy. It says community center restroom down in the verbiage, now it's resolved. We'll just have to change that and
Just
make-
let the record reflect.
Yeah, we'll just make we don't have to do an amendment, we'll just change that one line item, if you don't mind, to, that it's the home repairs.
Okay.
Just so you made an opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you want this, Jane?
Please.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion in a second?
Yeah, we do.
I thought so. David?
Okay, this is the third amendment. This is for the one block at a time residential thing. We went from a 900,000 to 1,093,000, and the fee is reflective of that. We have, just to update everyone, we surveyed every house that was on the list,
Yep.
over 50,
Yeah, over 50.
yeah, before
David,
Christmas.
myself, and Hillary, so.
Yeah, so right now we're working to create packets so that we can get the roofers out to bid, we can get the ramps out to bid, the painting, and the shutters out to bid. So, we've basically done all the gathering information, and now we're analyzing it to determine what the scopes are for every house.
How many houses did we come up with?
Over 50.
Yeah. 56 or 54?
Yeah.
So with that on the budget, we think we should be good on the other stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, we were kind of doing some projections. We think it'll be close, but, you know, we don't know
Might have to
until we
extend
start
it a little
pricing
more.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
and then there are some houses that are, you know, we're gonna hopefully put a little bit of contingency, but there's definitely unforeseen things on these roofs
I got you.
that we're not gonna know about until we take that roof off.
Right, right.
I just wish they could have go inside because, I mean, the roof is good, the painting is good on the outside.
Understand, but we
You
couldn't.
know, I understand that, but I just wish they could do some inside work as
But we
well
weren't
as.
even
you
gonna
know.
do roofs, and the insurance company didn't want us to do roofs, and it was a big battle by, council members saying we
Yeah.
we need to do roofs.
But y'all won the battle though.
We won the battle, so
It
we
is-
get to do
well,
roofs. but
maybe we
they
can
will
battle
not
again.
let us go.
So,
And the time's up to, December 31st was the cutoff, so. Yes, sir.
so you're telling me that the preliminary planning has been done, so the work is about to begin?
Not yet. We've analyzed everything. We've gone to do all our surveying. So now we're in the stage where we're putting all the information so that our contractor can bid it. So that's kind of like our document phase right now.
So you would estimate about how long we will get started?
I'm thinking probably by the end of this month, I'll have the first group of projects finished to then go sit with or put it out to roofing. We want to start with the roofing.
Yeah,
That's
we
the
would-
biggest hurdle
The-
right
the-
now.
The roofs are the riskiest, and we need to spend that money first, because we only have a finite number. If we, God forbid, but I mean, if we don't have enough money, something's gonna drop off.
Right.
But you can't do half a roof.
Yeah, right.
So the roofs need to come first, and then we're trying to figure out if we bid them in 2 packages. We're looking at some, talking to our auditors to make sure that they're cool with how we do it. If we can, we'll probably bid the shingle roofs in one pot and the metal roofs in another pot. We have to watch because you can't break things up. There's been, audit findings from various communities that they broke things. Now, they broke it up a lot more than that. So we put in the package together, then we get the auditors to approve it, and then if we have to bid, well, then we have a advertisement, a public, time frame to wait. We're not rushing. We have 2 years to spend the money. We don't want to take 2 years, but it's quite a few roofs. I mean, it's going to take a while, to do all the roofs.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's gonna make it through hurricane season.
I understand, I understand. Yes, sir.
So being that we're going through the bid process and we already approved the overall budget, we're not bringing each project to the council for approval, are we?
No.
I didn't think
What
so.
we're trying to do is
Not
figure out.
individually.
No, not individually.
Okay.
We might have two packages, which would be all the shingle roofs,
All
another
right.
package, which would be all the metal roofs, but we can't, the magnitude of bringing each house,
No.
we can't do that, plus you can't break them down that far. I can tell you that the auditors would have a problem, because I'm reading the articles of another community that will name nameless, that broke things down between gyms and between schools and did some other things, and they had some audit findings.
So we'll have to approve the package as you put them together?
Yes.
I figured that, but I was hoping
Yes.
not each individual project.
No, it won't be, you can't do that. Yes, sir.
So David, the way you put the package together is gonna be such a way where if it's 28 shingles roofs, you got to bid 28 shingle roofs, the contractor?
That's part of the audit,
We'll know that pretty soon.
work that we want to get, yeah, we want to make sure that.
Once David has a
do that
packet,
in
I'm
a-
meeting with the auditors, and we're gonna look at it. If I had my way, we would bid all the shingle roofs as one bid, all the metal roofs as one bid, and advertise it and get contractors to
'Cause
come.
with the insurance requirements, it's gonna limit to who can bid those
Yes.
projects being
Yeah,
that
but
large.
it's, and the price would be, I mean, I've been a contractor for 40-something years. The price would be much cheaper if I could just go to individual roofers.
Right.
But I'm not sure that the law will allow us to do that.
I don't think so.
I think it's breaking it down too far.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody else? Everybody good? Then please vote your machines. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
5G.
Okay. Resolution 2516, a resolution authorizing the mayor to negotiate and execute an agreement with Place and Main Advisors, LLC, related to economic development studies for the city of New Iberia.
Do I have a motion?
Second?
Councilman Troy Como and Mayor Pro Tem Ricky Gonsalas. This is, I'll just kind of tell you about it. This is an economic study. They use the M-Plan software, which is recognized by every developer. What we're doing is hiring a firm that has done a lot of work in Louisiana. He's not from Louisiana, but he works for the state, and he's done quite a few projects in and around Louisiana, has quite a few projects coming. We are partnering with the time frame that while he's down here, it's working out that he could work for us because he's going to be working for some other communities. So what we're going to finally have is a group of stats, data. We'll have occupational data. We're going to know what we have in existing workforce, what industries are coming, how do we match them up. We're going to know wages, we're going to know our unemployment numbers. Those things are important, and developers ask when they come, they ask me every time, can you afford, let's just say we get a new Whataburger, that's a good example. Is there a workforce for that? The study itself will show what we're bleeding over that's going to Lafayette or to other communities in Acadiana. That shows what we're missing here as a product. That helps our tax base and helps jobs. Current and future economic activity. The impact of, because we're going to do the city of New Iberia and about a 5-mile radius around the city. So any project you can think of, the great things that are coming to the airport, the great things that are coming to the port, all the things that we're attracting, the developers I'm meeting with now. Well, we want to know the impact of that. And a projection of impact is a projection of growth. In other words, what that does is get other developers interested that, well, if these jobs are coming, if it's pulling people in, y'all know we have a new 200-unit residential development that he's purchased a property, we're moving on it. That's going to happen. We have a unnamed big box that we're going to annex some property, and that's going to be next to Lowe's. We just can't talk about publicly what it is yet. All those things combined with the bigger picture gives us the ability to project where we're going to be, and it also grabs some attention and some momentum for other developers. So, they're going to look at site selection. This is going to get married to our master study that we're doing. The phase 2 of our master study has an economic development piece. So we're going to marry the two firms together to kind of look at that. That gives us something to say, here's the vacant property that you could put a new big box on. here's the impact, and here's the reason why you should do it. So all of those things are gonna come together to help us target commercial entities for future growth. And, you know, our master study that we did phase 1 produced a lot of projects. And when we do phase 2, we'll be showing you the success that it had. We're not throwing money away. The next master study combined with this will have, you know, good results, but our plan is not to make it in a vacuum. Our master study that we have now is on newiberianow.com. We put it on Facebook. We did public roadshow, basically, that you could come. We had town halls. We'll be doing that with phase 2 of the master study, but we're going to include this study as well. My plan also is to do something that nobody does. I've been here for 8 years, so every developer that we ever talk to is going to get a copy of that packet. We're going to send it to every realtor firm. In other words, not something to hide. I do see that some communities hold things and say, well, you know, I'm only going to give it to these people, or this one group is going to use this study. That's some bull. You know, we spend the money on this. I want to have a shotgun effect and get it out and get it as far reaching as I can, because that's more opportunity for someone to get hooked, to get interested, to realize the opportunity, you know, the investment opportunity that we have here. So that's kind of what we're doing. I'll open it up for questions or comments. Yes, sir.
I would just say I think it's a great investment. It's a good tool. I was involved in it previously with an economic study, and we used the tool. It's a great opportunity to share all the things you just said, and I definitely support that, and I appreciate you pushing that forward. I think it's going to be a good asset for us.
I think it is. Yes, sir.
Thank you. I agree. I think it's a necessity for a community that expects to grow at the next level. I think it's dollars well spent. It's an investment. I think our taxpayers that are paying this would like to see this invested, to see what we can improve our community. Even what we haven't improved our community, what we need to work on. So I think the possibilities are relentless, and I think it'll be a great tool for everybody involved. Is
Sure.
that $30,000 cap? Yes,
Yes, that's the cap. That's the cap.
So anything else, we're gonna come and have to discuss?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right. General fund?
Well,
Actually, I have a little money left in professional services.
Okay.
So we're going to take it out of that.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
he just answered the question I was about to ask, if that was a cap to 30,000.
Yes, it is. It
All
is.
right.
And I've already begun, you know, I mean,
I think that's a pretty good price.
Yeah.
You know, for
I
what we're
worked with
talking
the
about.
state to get, you know, network with this guy, because I knew he's,
Okay.
you know, well-known and it's who I wanted. So the
Right,
state
right.
actually helped hook me up with him, and so we've already started talking, because
Okay.
I needed a figure,
Right.
and I needed to understand, you know, what he was gonna do. Yes, sir.
Look, from the sounds of it, it's a very good idea that helps us as a city to identify areas in where we're strong and our weaknesses, to see what we need and where we need it.
Yes.
You know, which will help us with our master study.
Yeah.
So the master study will come after the
Kind of at the
forecast.
same time,
About the
this
same
study,
time.
the master study is probably gonna take 4 or 5, 6 months at the most. The in-plan study and the rest of his study that he puts together is gonna take around the same amount of time. So they'll
Balance it
probably
out.
both be, you know, late summer, something like that.
Good.
Yes, sir.
So Mayor, when we get this study, we have no limitations of what we can do with it.
Dude, we rolling with it. I don't
So
want
we can do whatever we
limitations.
want.
I'm giving it out to every one of you. You'll get it first. You send it to whoever you know, in other words, every one of you can play developer, okay? You're gonna have it, you know a business, you gotta,
Right,
you know somebody, you know, use it. I mean,
It would've been easier if you gave it last year. You couldn't. I
well,
wouldn't have to work so
you know,
hard.
one step at a time. And look, we're playing off the momentum, you know, we're opening new stores, we got a couple new restaurants opening, we got a big box coming again, we have that residential subdivision. We're playing on the momentum and the catalyst of doing this. If we maybe it wouldn't have been right to do it a year ago, you know what I mean? Or 2 years ago. Now we have some horsepower, and I think the momentum and the area's momentum, now it's time to hit.
Sometimes you got to learn the hard way, Mr. Doyle.
It was a hard way.
And it'll
worked
give us
out.
It'll give us opportunities too, as individuals on the board.
Everybody, look,
You know.
we don't win individually, we win as a team.
It helps you make your decisions.
It does. Yes, ma'am.
I think it's a great idea, obviously, but also the transparency with just being able to put it out there to the public. I know the public appreciates that because they want to know everything we know they want to know,
Oh, yeah.
obviously. And you to put it everywhere is a great idea.
Yeah.
I think they'll really appreciate it.
We can't spend any money we didn't get from somebody else. Okay, that's a taxing body. So they need to see what we do.
Yep. Okay.
Yep, I think it's a great idea too.
Good.
Great.
Everybody's good? Yep. Then I'd ask you please vote your machines. Great. I told them I'd text them tonight. Madam Clerk, 5H.
Resolution 2517, a resolution ordering and calling a special election to be held in the city of New Iberia, state of Louisiana, to authorize the continuation of a special tax therein, making application to the State Bond Commission and providing for other matters in connection therewith.
This is a renewal. This is
That's
a
right.
renewal that brings in about $800,000 a year that goes to Public Works. And Public Works, that's all the concrete street patching, that's the sidewalks, that's a variety of, things related to streets, the drain, all kind of things, curbing, that we function with. So it's not a new tax in any kind of way, it's a renewal. We put this on the ballot to renew it. If, God forbid, it would fail, we get one more shot, but it would greatly affect Public Works. It has nothing to do with the road money, the 17.1, that is the old sewer millage that we paid off and brought back. This is one that's been existing for a very long time. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Member Pro Tem Ricky Gosselin, I need a second. Councilman Dandolph. Comments, questions? Yes, sir.
As always, just for the general public, we're supporting, bringing it to the people to let them make a decision.
Oh,
on
gotcha.
it. So we're not, we're not making sure that we're not voting to increase your taxes, but we want you guys to get out there and vote and support what you want for our community and our city, what you think's right.
Yep, and it is a renewal.
That's right.
That was a
Sir.
good,
How many years is it gonna be for?
10 years.
10.
10 years.
And it's a, property tax.
Yes.
It's a millage.
Just
Millage.
people,
Millage.
I know what it is.
Yeah.
People need to come out, right?
I'm just trying to explain to
I understand,
it's not a
yes.
sales tax, it's a property
Correct.
tax, so, you have to own property in the city for it to affect you, and it's not gonna go up
Yeah.
anyway. Some
Correct.
people still confused about sales tax and property
You're
tax.
right. Thank you
Who
for
pays
clarifying.
who,
Absolutely.
and, thank you.
Yes,
That was
sir.
the same thing, I want to bring to the public as well, because people's confused about that. We just got a big tax by the governor, and people thinking that we trying to, bring more taxes to them. And I'm glad you say it was a renewal, because I wasn't on the council for this, but I want to make sure that it was a renewal, just to let them know as well.
It's been around for many years. I mean, that's what Public Works operates, a good portion of their
Right.
budget on. Not all of it by any means, but a portion of it. Anybody else? And I'd ask you please vote your machines. Thank you very much. All right, we get out the fives. 6A, Madam Clerk.
Introduction of ordinances. Ordinance number 2504, an ordinance awarding contract to Turf Tank for the lease of an automated field working machine, and further authorizing the mayor to execute any and all documentation in connection therewith, and setting for public hearing on March 5th, 2025.
Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Brooke Markcott. Who had the second? Councilman Troy Como. This is the marking machine that we have been waiting on for a while. It's going to be a lifesaver to not have to mark all the soccer fields, and it's a good thing. Questions, comments? Yes, sir.
Mayor, originally, I think we talked about buying it.
We
and then
did.
We decided it'd be more efficient to lease it.
It worked out that it's more efficient to lease it. The upgrades are cheaper. If technology changes, we get an upgrade where if we purchase it, it's all on us. So after we looked into it, we decided that this was a better way to go.
And do we know how much that is? Or we,
$7,000 a year, I think.
and there's one more
Sure.
question. Do we have to have a person to run that machine certified, or can any of our department?
No, they don't have to be certified. It does come with training. We've
Okay.
actually already seen a demo of it, so Richard's aware and understands it, and had a big input in, went through the process, but I mean, he knew the type of machine he wanted, and I think he's familiar with those machines.
And when you lease it, repairs or anything to do is on them.
Yeah,
too.
we pick up the phone. So that seemed to work because once we owned it, you opening yourself up
Right.
to, once we realized that this was the better way to go.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
This be a automatic renewal, or is this over an
I think
extended
it's for
time that
3
we're leasing?
years, if I remember right.
3
and
year
Yes,
lease,
3 years.
okay.
Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I would think you're gonna save a lot of money rather than having
Well, the labor.
the
that we're
labor
gonna
of
save
having to do that.
is ridiculous.
Yes,
Just the time
absolutely.
and the pressure to hurry up and get, or a tournament pops up. that
Yeah,
you didn't know.
absolutely.
It just makes sense.
It's a good investment.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I think you missed something though, Troy. I think it's the quality of what you're getting.
Absolutely.
Because
In
people
addition,
expect to go to the
right.
Pepperplex and they want quality, and this is gonna provide quality lines, workmanship that
Absolutely.
people expect. I mean, and I think, when we use the taxpayers' money, hell, let's just try to do what we can to better the effect of the general public, and this is gonna improve it a lot.
Yep.
Do you know
Yes, ma'am.
when about it would come in after?
Leasing is pretty quick. When we were buying it, it had a long lead time, so I don't think the lead time, it's probably 4 to 6 weeks or something, but I don't think it's that long.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we'll have it. We're not gonna have it, soccer's starting, so they are marking fields right
Yeah.
now. We're gonna call in the morning and,
Okay.
see how quick we can get it, but I don't think it was that long. It was 4 to 6 weeks or maybe 8 weeks if we bought it.
Okay.
So I'm hoping it's quicker, I wanna
Yeah.
get it in use as fast as I can.
Right. Okay.
Everybody else? Everybody good? Please vote your machines. Thank you. Madam Clerk, 6B.
Special ordinance number 2024-2025-09, an ordinance amending the budget for donations to the Veterans Memorial and setting for public hearing on March the 5th, 2025.
This is buying our bricks. My assistant Hillary handles the veterans, and we are doing this fairly often because we have money coming in and we're adding veterans' names to the bricks. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Councilwoman Brooke Marcotte, and I think Councilman David Merrill had the second. So, any discussion?
I have some. I think it's a good thing. I'm a veteran myself.
Yep.
And I remember a long time ago when we was on the council, we had a problem getting money to put that together.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it should be recognized constantly. And if we can add a little bit more,
We got-
possibly later.
Oh, we got it done. It's
know, yeah.
It can't get
It's
much
good.
better than it is. I mean, you coming from the perspective of,
Yeah.
we did struggle to try
Yeah,
to
we
figure out how
struggled
to
for a
do
long
this,
time to do
but it's done. It's, we got that attacked, and I think it's where it needs to be
Yeah,
now.
I think so as well. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
So Mayor, the people that buy bricks, they give the city the money?
Yeah, we
And then-
sell the bricks.
Yeah.
We, if it's $100 a
Yeah.
brick, and then Hillary orders them, make sure the name's right, the bricks come in, then we hire the same contractor who put the pavers down, and he comes and removes the blank paver, which we keep
Yeah.
because they match, and then they put the new brick in.
So the money's just coming through us?
Yeah, it's just coming through us. No,
We're
we
not
don't
using
make
our
any
bricks,
money or
right.
anything. All the money goes, for the project.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Everybody good? Then please vote your machines. Thank you very much.
Special ordinance number 24-2025-10, an ordinance amending the budget to carry over the remaining portion of the Jefferson Terrace Drainage Project Phase 2 and setting for public hearing on March 5th, 2025.
I need a motion.
Motion. Second.
Mayor General Ricky Gonsalas, and who had the second? Councilman David Merrill. This is the last part of the second phase of Jefferson Terrace, which was finished a while back, but the contractor had not billed. So the contractor finally sent in his final bill that we have been asking him for. Very weird that, normally we're trying to pre-bill our jobs, we're normally ahead of schedule, but it took him a long time to send his bill in, so this has been checked by our engineer, and so this finishes out the project for both the contractor and the engineer. Yes, sir.
Mayor, I remember we had the first phase, the second, do we have another phase?
No, we don't.
That's
We're
it.
about out of elevation.
Yeah,
In other
it's coming out
words,
the ground.
it's coming out the
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
You could make the pipe smaller. We looked at some engineering. It's not worth it. You're gonna not move much more water. So we've gone as far as we can, gravity got us.
Yeah, I didn't know if we had another phase going the other
I
way.
wish we did.
towards- Yeah,
I wish we did.
thank you.
So that means now DOTD can fix the railroad crossing, like how it's kind of shaky.
Well, I would like them to. and
I've
that's a whole
called them
nother
before
topic.
about it, and they did say that
Well, this is done, and,
What's
we have
going
that
on?
big railroad project coming.
all of them, yeah.
Good to blame it on.
Yeah, we have the big railroad project coming, so, hopefully they'll fix it.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Yes,
That's
sir.
a good project, man, because
It's done some good.
we dealt with that a long time ago when I was on the council with all that flooding and stuff like that. So that's a good deal to finish this up, I'm glad.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, there's nothing further. Please vote your machines. Thank you very much. 6D.
Special ordinance number 2024-2025, 11, an ordinance amending the budget to carry over funding for the Love's Travel Stop Bore for sewer and setting for public hearing on March the 5th, 2025.
This is the money that we are using. It was an incentive from the TIF district that we put together probably a year and a half ago to get the Love's Truck Stop here. This was our incentive to bore under the highway. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Oh, a tie. Councilwoman Brooke Marcotte and Councilman Ron Davis. Is there any comments or questions?
Let the record reflect, I'll be abstaining.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
Mayor, this bore, this is a bore, correct? And it's going under 14, Highway 14? Okay, so that's the
Well, it
third.
runs under 90. It runs under 90,
I'm
yes, sir.
sorry, under 90. So we will be able to, if, let's say,
Yes,
other
sir.
businesses come through.
I knew what you were
We'll be
coming.
able to tie this in.
Yeah, the lift station is put in by Love's, but after a year, we will own the lift station. So we've been inspecting it. There actually were some issues. Craig went out there. They have to pull it up and redo it because it needs to meet our standards because we're gonna own it. We also own the bore. The Love's area, the family that annexed in, they have other property. We have talked more than once about as other businesses would wanna locate, they would possibly wanna annex in. That gives us the ability to use that, infrastructure.
I'm curious, what size bore is this? Do you know?
I did, because we looked at the pipe.
I mean, it's anticipating growth. I mean,
Yeah, oh,
it's
it is,
very,
it is.
very-
No, our engineers looked at it. I'm gonna say it's like 14 or 16 inches. It's big. It's big, but it is definitely set up for future growth.
good.
The lift station is oversized. I mean, we made sure that it could really move some product. Anybody else? Then I'd ask you to please vote your machines. But that's a good question. Okay.
Change it.
You good?
No, I hit the.
Oh, wait.
I'm sorry.
Wait.
Do it. Yeah, I messed up, my fault.
Yeah.
Vote again?
Yeah, we need to vote again. You just got the habit, bro.
There you go. Now we
Good,
got it.
okay.
Rick, it
No,
is.
that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, Ricky,
I'm sorry.
Ricky
Ricky
didn't want
needed
it.
to
I'm
abstain.
sorry.
Okay, thank y'all very much.
With you, with me.
Cool. 7A, Madam Clerk.
Property standards, resolution number 2518, a resolution accepting the estimate related to repair of 626 East St. Peter Street, District 5, and further requiring that progress shall be made on repairs by March 18th, 2025.
Okay, let me get a motion before we start so we don't get lost in conversation.
So move.
Councilman Ron Davis, and I need a second. Councilman Warren White.
All right, what we have here is 626 East St. Peter, again, up for discussion or up for the acceptance of the estimate
Okay.
that was brought before us. So,
Okay.
We also need to decide, or you guys need to decide, I think, what the consequences would be for the revisit of progression on March 18th for her, if she gets her, Ms. Asma, if she gets her permit. So, the estimate she brought was acceptable, it's over 20,000.
Okay.
The issue with that is, I mean, it's a good situation where we can educate the public on the substantial improvement aspect of this. Whenever you have a house that goes on demolition list, most of the times, it's gonna require more work than you would think. So it's gonna have a lot of repairing that needs to be done. Unfortunately, we use the assessed value of the home to gauge whether or not you have a substantial improvement issue. So if it surpasses 50% of that assessed value, then you need to bring the whole house up to code. And the assessed value is unfortunately not what you would think. Most people think, yeah, I just got it appraised and it's such and such, but it's usually less than that. So in this case, it was 8,000 was or less than 8, 7,250 was the 50% mark. So she has exceeded that, and she knows she needs to bring it up to code. So her estimate reflects that. So if the council accepts that estimate, then she would go ahead and get her remodel permit. You know.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I've been having a conversation and correspondence with Ms. Asma. She's been moving forward toward getting her estimates and working with her contractors. And like Matt said, the estimated value of the house is based on the tax assessment, which is typically low. Okay, so she supersedes the 50%. Okay, but she is moving toward having the work done, and the estimates are there. So she has to get the permit to be able to move forward. So I think it'd be upon us, with Matt's help, to monitor the progress once the permit is issued. You know, to gauge it and give her a time frame. I think we talked about this at the last meeting. You know, giving her a time frame to complete the work, because I think the permits are actually 6-month permit. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay, but we can gauge the progress within that, and I think we should be able to meet that. It's a progressive report, I think. But she's moving forward. She's got the estimates that we asked her to get, and so it's a matter of a remodel permit, I believe, you know, because we have to, it's over 50% of the value. So, and this is going to set a precedence going forward for the other properties that we have that's dilapidated, you know. So we have to really kind of deal with this appropriately in a manner, you know, and according to where our permits are placed, so.
Matt, can we make her post the property? Because all this week and last week, and I have PD pass-ons, we're having homeless issues back at our house. So while we can fix it, that's great, but the impact on the neighborhood and the neighbors and the businesses around there is continuing. She might be working toward the construction project, but we have homeless activity there. It's affecting the neighbors. I'm getting complaints. The PD is on it. But, you know, I'd like to, if we can, I know we do that with commercial properties that we posted, we put a sign, no loitering enforced by the NIPD. We got to try something. In other words, this could be a long-term project. If it's 6 months, we can't have 6 months of homeless activity there because it's affecting all the neighbors. I want her to fix the house. I'm not against her in any way. You know, I want to see her succeed. But that's been one of the ongoing issues, and with dilapidated property, you know, comes the responsibility to fix it, but also comes the responsibility to be a good steward and how you impacted your neighbors. So I pass there every day. I see the activity the PD does. I saw a pass on from a lieutenant yesterday or day before yesterday because that activity has increased again. So that's just another part of the puzzle that I would like to address some kind of way. But anyway, anybody else? Yes, sir.
So, and I agree, I've gotten some calls as well, and I just think, in just my opinion, I think we're gonna have some issues with vandalism in that area if we're not careful and we do something with Freddie.
She's gonna fix it, they're gonna break it.
And it's gonna be, okay, why y'all didn't do anything? But I think Freddie brought up a great point. But my question to Jeff is, Jeff, if we get halfway into this remodeling and investment, can we go back and issue a demo if she stops and invests, you know, money in it? That's what I'm wondering. I mean, she says she spends half the money, and she says, okay, I'm not doing any more repair work. Comes back to us, and we got an investment, and we sitting here got to make a decision to demo it once she made the investment.
Well, I mean, if it's unsafe,
I'm just asking.
you know, we have a
That
remedy.
possibly could happen in this project.
You know, and she's going to have to take the risk that, you know, she might not get this thing finished like she plans.
That's what I'm thinking.
Well,
And I think everybody here is concerned about that.
We are, absolutely.
correct.
I mean, I just don't want to come up here in 6 months and they say, and Matt say, okay, Miss spent $20,000, but she ceased the project and she can't move no forward, then we got to authorize a demo of $20,000 she invested in her home. So I want to make sure that that statement's made and to reflect
Everybody
that.
understands.
Yeah, everybody understands what might be facing us.
And what you're saying is correct, absolutely. And I've made Ms. Asma aware that her investment may oversee the value of the house.
Definitely.
And it could come up as a loss. So that's a decision that she has to make, how you value the situation. It may not be worth it, but of course, she has the ownership on it. And this does set a precedent going forward to the rest of the blighted properties. I mean, it's a delicate issue, very, very delicate. But now, Mayor, you said something about, passing through and everything and posting the house, whereas to keep vandalism away from it, because, I mean, you have a house next door that's just as bad, if not worse, okay? And they're all over the city, to some extent. And we do have a problem with homelessness and different things along that line. So what we do here is going to set a precedent, even though I don't think we have the answers tonight to be able to deal with it. We have to deal with this on an individual basis, which I think we have, and the board has been more than open to try to work with them because of the fact that we're not necessarily in the business of tearing houses down. We're actually trying to keep people.
Unfortunately, we are, but it's not.
Well, we are, but yet
don't wanna
still we want to
represent
keep
empty
people,
lots.
taxpayers and whatever the case may be.
Correct.
So, like I said, I'm asking for your support on it because I've worked with her, I've talked to her. Seems like she's going forward with it, and we have to take our lick. I don't know.
So what do you
ma'am.
expect by March 18th?
Yes. I'm sorry, say again?
What do you expect to be done by
Well,
March 18th? Just
by
some
March
sort of
18th, I'm looking to have our estimates, have our permit in place, and see progress. I can't say the amount of progress. That's when the time starts after the permit is issued. So we're seeing I have to pass it whenever I go to Main Street to see. Matt passes it on a routine basis and stuff. And after tonight's meeting, I will talk to her personally and make her aware of our concerns because I understand its impact on the rest of the neighborhood. And this is something that we want to do better than what we're doing right here. So.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Davis, you got my support, but I just when I brought that comment up because
Understood.
I want to make sure she's aware of it. We may be forced to make a tough decision.
Oh, I understand, and it's not going to be easy, but I made her aware the night she was here.
Okay.
And I've also talked to her and made her aware.
All right.
Okay.
All these demo properties, all these distressed properties, they do come at risk.
Yes, they can.
One, you might exceed the value of what you're doing. Number two, there might be no market to rent it. I mean, but as a owner of property, you
That's the decision you have to make.
yeah, you make that decision, and then we have to make ours based on safety.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And, community impact. Anybody else? Yes, sir.
I'll just say it's a business decision tonight, but in 3 months from now, it's going to be an emotional decision.
Yeah, because money's invested.
True.
And I shared that with her when she was here the last time
You
as
did.
well. And
You did, so.
I mean, I hope for the best.
Me too.
I think
but
as a
have-
board,
I have my concerns.
as a board, we've done pretty much all we can do unless the lawyer has something to say that impacts it.
Well, is it possible to have some kind of schedule that we can give her a timeline, this work by this date, this work by this date, this work by this date? I mean, I think we have an obligation to be clear with her about what we expect. And she needs to understand what she's supposed to do. So, maybe we could have an agreement with her, and it's gonna say, don't come crying to us if it doesn't work out, because you asked for this time and we granted it to you. And she's gonna dismiss this appeal, in court as part of this. So, we could formalize it, but I don't know enough about construction to know what kind of schedule there would be for this project and exactly what's involved, but.
Well, it seems like I like that, but it seems like we made the list of the safety issues first. We made a list that, because she's gonna have some electrical upgrade, she's gonna have some plumbing upgrade because of the 50% valuation. But if we do that, then what we ought to do is concentrate on what we feel that we might have to tear it down because it's not accomplished. So if she's got a limited budget, which everybody's got a limited budget, I think that if we identified, with Matt's help, all of the safety areas and made sure that she spent her money wisely on that, then we wouldn't be coming back, as the Mayor Pro Tem said, in 3 months, 4 months, tearing something down.
I mean, just,
Just my suggestion.
no, you know, the floor?
Yes, sir.
So I mean, we're all talking up here with emotion about the homeowner, but let's not forget the inside of the neighbors and the business around, because,
One of
I
the
mean,
homeless, I mean.
they're gonna come to me and Freddie and whoever else and saying, what are y'all doing? You know, y'all giving a permit and remodel, and so we're gonna explain to them clearly what's happening, because it's become a problem for them, so I just wanna make sure we don't forget about it.
Yes, sir.
I'm just hoping that
Yes, sir.
after she invests all this money, it'll come to demolition. I'm hoping it don't, I'm hoping she can get it done where,
We all
comes
hope
it.
that.
Yeah, because you hate for somebody to invest that much money into the home and then you're talking about tearing it down.
No, I think that's why we need to approach it that way,
Yeah.
that we,
Yeah, I got it.
yes, sir.
Yeah, I would just add that in reference to what Mr. Simon was saying, that it's her responsibility, but it's not gonna be her fault, because the contractor's gonna could
Correct.
potentially have a list of reasons why he or she couldn't complete the project in a timely manner that we feel necessary to bring closure to the subject. But there's a lot of things on a construction site, as many of you know, things don't go as you plan. And that's gonna be another huge factor that no one can control, but it's gonna be it's not gonna be her fault, but it's gonna be her responsibility. Or not, and not just her, anyone in that position. So, and that's worth noting to her, I believe, because
Well-
those are factors she may not have taken into
David, you
consideration.
had your hand up next?
Yeah, I agree with what you were saying just a little while ago about the safety issues. I think that should be something that we should look at, and let Matt deal with as far as those things, because like you said, she knows what our responsibility is. She knew that from the last meeting that we had. So if she loses on this, that has nothing to do with us. She knows that. But the safety issue that you just spoke about should be the main concern to get taken care of first, because that's gonna make a difference, not just with her, but anybody else as an owner that's wanting to try to do the same thing. That's my opinion on it.
Mayor Pro Tem went next, I'm a traffic cop,
Freddie,
Yes, sir.
and Jeff, I just think that when we're having this discussion, we need to be in line and be consistent of what we're doing moving forward, because I'm sure another project's gonna come along and they're gonna say, well, you did this for this project. Can I, so I think we're having a great discussion, and we need to make sure we're clear what's the end result could be if it's not accomplished.
Well-
And I just hope we're consistent. Next time, we're gonna have to be consistent. And that's it.
Yes, sir. He trumps you.
No,
I
no.
call him the
That's
city
okay.
attorney.
Please.
I don't. But you could have something that's secured, it's closed,
Yeah.
but it doesn't meet code.
That's right.
And the project
Correct.
could get stuck.
Exactly.
And it could get stuck at the point where, you don't have homeless people going in and out.
Correct.
But it's still not finished. And she's got to understand, it's got to go all the way. So my suggestion is, maybe I could work with Matt. We could meet with her. We could come up with some kind of schedule.
Yes.
I agree.
And then, we're gonna have to explain to her, bold-faced print. This is your responsibility to get this thing done.
Yes.
And there will be consequences if you don't. And if you don't want to do this, don't start.
Correct.
Because,
Thank you for waiting.
I think you made my point, Jeff, because we have to send her some type of communications besides verbal. We have to put this in writing, stating our case, because as I can see across the board, we have a lot of concerns that we have to deal with every case somewhat similar in the same way. We're setting a precedence here, so we may as well go ahead and put it in writing, forward it to her, so it won't be no dispute on what the understanding is. Okay? Because, it's impacting and affecting everybody, and we don't want to have to come back, like you said, to tear it down, because money is something that's tight to everybody. So, if we can get something put together and send it to her, I think I would feel a lot better.
I think she needs to sign it.
I do too.
Oh, I agree.
Councilman Dahl?
Man, the years I've been up here, I never saw a house that was a demo, that someone's gonna put that much money into it.
I agree.
And, this,
My time is
maybe
pro tem,
4,
my
5,
time is
6,000,
mayor.
but
Not
20,000.
20,000. I know.
And then, since you have a great relationship with her and talk to her, she might wanna say, hey, talk to someone, if I put 20 grand in this house, what would the value be? She might think 20 grand could give her a value of $50,000 on a house that it might not even get to, what's the value, 65,000?
Assessed value is 14, 14.5.
And you put 20 grand, so that's about 35 grand that she might not get out of it.
Well,
Unless she has somebody want to buy it.
She's looking to rent it out.
That's
The
the-
location to
that's
me
the
is
only
not
thing
the best location.
I agree.
And I've explained that, well, but the way I value and the way she values
It
is
could be
totally
two
different.
different things.
Yeah.
You know, so like I said, I think
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
for me,
That's a lot of money.
I would like to put it in writing and pass it on to her, so the i's are dotted and the t's are crossed. I mean, we may not catch them all, but it'd be understood.
There's
Thank
a,
you. Yes, sir.
there's a lot of experience at this table with construction,
Yes, sir.
you know, and it'd be nice if she were here to hear all the warnings.
True, it's true.
Yeah. We would pass it on to you too.
I mean, everybody good?
So, we clarify, we voted on it, we're gonna
To
authorize Matt to,
Yeah, we're gonna authorize Matt and our city attorney to meet with her, come up with a list.
all right.
And go from there and then come back with a schedule.
And have us sign it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's an agreement.
Yeah.
To answer your question about March 18th, logistically, what I would look for is exactly what you would mention. The exterior would need to be the first thing.
Correct.
You
Yeah.
need to keep the weather out. Then secondarily, I don't know whenever the next date would be, it would be the electrical, so that no other fire gets started, you know,
Exactly.
again, so.
And that should
And we
follow
move on
every
down.
agreement going forward.
That's a good plan.
Everybody good? And please vote your machines. Thank you very much. Thank you, Matt.
Thank y'all.
Item 8A.
Financial reports, Bob Atlas Straps to present the monthly budget to actual report for November the 1st, 2024 through January 31st, 2025.
Yes, ma'am.
Attached shall have the budget to actual. It's for 3 months ending January 31st of 2025, which is about 25% into the year. So we're first quarter into the year. And the highlights of the budget is, you'll notice that the revenues are up because the property taxes have been recorded. Those affected the general fund, Parks and Recreation, and Public Works funds. And of the property taxes, by the end of January, we had collected 92% of the revenue of what's been assessed.
That seems high, huh?
The ladies in the tax office are really, really busy in December.
See how much you moved in 1 month?
Yeah, that was,
That's good, phenomenal.
Sales tax and the TIF revenues, they're right in line with where they need to be. January sales tax revenue, the sales tax revenues we receive in February, so it's always a month, lags a month behind. But nevertheless, we're projected to meet budget. And everything else is in line with budget, revenues and expenditures. I don't know if y'all have any particular questions on anything?
Just
Yes.
wanna, I just told Freddie, I leaned over, I said, your analysis is great with the budget. I mean, we used to just get this, no
Oh, yeah.
offense. So I like this, really like it. I mean, I really think this is important moving forward and even expanding on it. Because it just brings out, it makes you understand it better. If you don't know a budget, it's right there for you.
That was the story.
Yeah,
If
so.
you want me to read it, I can read
I
it,
don't,
but.
I understand it, but I like the idea, and thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yes, sir.
On the expenditure side, I guess that insurance, it looks like it's running at 58%, and we're about 1/4 into the year.
Gotta pay it.
Close to it. So is that a timing issue or what?
Yeah, insurance is paid through, it's the beginning of the fiscal year.
I gotta pay them.
We don't pay it
I
out monthly,
figured
we
as much.
pay
I was
the
just
full
wrong.
premium out once we get it billed, so that's why insurance is so high.
I think the budget is looking pretty good at this point in time from December. And then when Loves come into the play, that's gonna be a lot more increases. So, we're looking
Yes.
good going forward.
That's the point of that study, to keep that coming. And we have a few more things opening, and that's a good thing. But, a city's either growing or dying, and the only way that we're going to cover our costs and grow and succeed is if we continue to get new businesses,
Correct.
continue to get new opportunities. So that's why every part and piece of my day is spent, at least some of it, trying to feed that machine, you know?
Right.
Anyway, because nothing's getting cheaper.
Nope.
Anybody else? Everybody good? Questions, comments? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And now we move on to Councilman's remarks, and I'll start with Councilwoman Brooke Markcott.
Okay, thank you. Some of you guys may have heard that there's some despicable human beings stealing from veterans' graves. They're taking
Yep.
the bronze plaques off of graves.
Pretty many of them.
Yes, we have this wonderful citizen, Miss Francine Guillot. She has gone to every graveyard in the parish to look for these missing plaques. And she's compiled a list of the veterans and has reached out via Facebook to family members that she could find. Like, that is very time consuming, so I want to thank Miss Francine for doing that. But there are 5 people that she has not been able to find a family member for through Facebook. So I'll just read their names, and maybe someone's watching that's related to them. And if you are, you can call NIPD and file a report, or if it's a parish thing, the sheriff's office, because I think it's different graveyards this is happening at.
Yes.
Henry Joseph Bro, Albert Miet, Olit Hebert, Hubert Chasson, and Arlene Segura. Now, Arlene, the date of death was 1869, so I don't know if there is any family around here left, because that's a long time ago. But if anyone knows a family member of those people, reach out to them and just let them know that the gravesite has been disturbed and those plaques are missing. I really hope that law enforcement can find all the people doing that. I just cannot imagine.
We've arrested quite a few, and I think there's a few more to get. But,
Right, that's what it seems like.
Yep.
But yeah, I just hope that these poor souls are haunting these people at night that are doing these things, because, I mean, that's what they deserve. On a better note, it is the last week to sign up for Evangeline Little League. So if you have a kid, a grandkid, niece, nephew, somebody that wants to play softball or baseball, go ahead and sign them up. Tryouts are this Sunday. That's all I have.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to make a couple of comments here. They had New Jerusalem Ministry had a health fair at Johns Hopkins this weekend. It was great. The attendance wasn't that high, but hopefully next time they bring it, we can advertise it more. And also, we have New Day, have the Zydeco Bingo on February the 20th. It's all full, so y'all can't call in anymore. That's for 55 and up. Everything free food, free prizes. And let me see, and also I have something else to say. Let's see.
Who's calling the bingo?
I may.
Thank you for doing that.
Okay. So, I am a professional.
Doing that for probably.
I've been doing it for 30 years for the church, St. Edward Catholic Church. I'm the one that's over it. So that's about it. So, and I want to thank myself for looking so great.
All right. Wow. Thank you, sir.
Well, he took my line.
I'll let you follow that.
It's impossible to follow that, so I'm good. I'm speechless. Not very often you find me speechless. Today is one. I was gonna say about myself. Okay. I'm good. Not as good as Mr. White, but I'm good.
Since Warren stole the show, Warren, no, just to echo him, but look, we always hear that, we're the opportunity for our kids in our community. Soccer season starts this Saturday, registration for the Little League. There's plenty of opportunity to get your kids out there, engage in our community, and enjoy the things that we have to practice out here. So just let's become families and start participating and show our support.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I'd like to be able to invite as many people as possible to our neighborhood watch meeting. We're starting back Thursday, 6 o'clock at the Slyman. We're going to have the mayor, Freddie, there, and Todd is going to have one of his officers there as well. One thing Freddie mentioned earlier, I got a call over the weekend. I got a call about a week ago, too, about these vacant houses, people sleeping in them and stuff. I have a lady go to my church One of the houses right next to it, I talked to Matt. Matt went over there. The door was open. Matt closed it, and he kind of forced it to close a little bit. But there's a lot of this stuff going on, and I want people that can come out to be able to come to the meeting, let the police officers know about it so they can patrol those areas, because it's needed and it's getting worse and worse. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I have two things tonight. Well, first of all, the park. I'm excited about the park. And as soon as we get everything squared off, we're going to have an announcement, and we will be posting the opening of the park. I would like for everyone to come out and enjoy that. We sure have some events, but that's the thing. We want to get our events together and everything, and hopefully this will be a success story that everybody can go out and enjoy, especially the youth in our area, because, I mean, our area needs a lot, and this is just a start. Also, starting on Wednesday, February 26th, the Iberia Comprehensive Community Health Center will have a mobile unit placed at 317 Hopkins Street, South Hopkins Street, to reach out to the community, which is probably underserved, and we're trying to kind of look at the needs that's in that area to better service them, and try to do some preventive health screening and urgent sick care. So it'll be there, seem like every Wednesday up until March 19th. They'll be there from 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. So if you're in the area, you can stop and get screen your blood or whatever the case would be. But we want to be able to pass the word. It is on the city's website. I posted it on my site as well. So therefore, trying to pass the words and stuff, because that area needs a little help. And this is something into the Hopkins Street economic development area that we're looking at, possibly placement of a clinic or something in that area. So we need some participation. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Mayor, I was, someone sent me a message from North Carolina and showed that New Iberia hit big times. They made Southern Living.
If a really good article.
And it really was said, at the end of the article, it says the most underrated town in Louisiana and the sweetest town on earth. I mean, this is big. So I want to let you know something else. We talk about New Iberia, but I just got back from Nashville, and we met a lot of people there. And we met some people there that loves Louisiana. They walked up to us and said, y'all must be from Louisiana. And a couple of them came from New Iberia, believe it or not. And I'm not going to say the restaurant they went to, and they thought it was great. But anyway, we are doing things right, and it shows. And with us going to out of town and meeting all these people from all over every state, Louisiana, they picked us out, and they were always wanted to come to New Iberia or Lafayette or New Orleans, whatever. But I want to let you know, it is a big deal when people identify you as one of the sweetest places on earth, and I thought it was big for us to have that done, and it's only can get better. Thank you.
That's it. It is only getting better. Just to tell you, just positive coming up. David's in the process of beginning the design work, which we got approval from the state, so the $2.5 million Pepperplex we were talking about, the registrations, that design is underway. That's huge, because that means it won't be too long we're bidding that project out. In 3 weeks, we bid out the road, which is going to give us the other access point. That bid's in 3 weeks. The March 13th, that's a huge day for us. That is when the first bids for our road program, the 17.1, that is the asphalt overlay. And just to give a quick little summary, we passed the tax in October. We could not start allocating that money toward the roads till April. We allowed the contract to start on the engineering. It took them 10 months. That is not a long time. Smart people don't work fast, they work thorough. That's all the testing, that is the documents, that's meeting with each council member for input for roads, that's analyzing all the roads. So in 10 months, those documents are out. This month of February and a little bit of March is the advertisement time, because we have to follow public bid law. And remember, every part of that had to come to the council, and it takes 2 meetings to do an ordinance. So people just need to understand that, we're moving at a good pace, although, Facebook says we're not, but it's okay. So March 13th, we get our bids, and followed about 2 months later, we'll have the bids on the concrete streets. So the 17-1 is in play. In addition to that, when I walk out of here, I'm signing a notice to proceed, which begins the engineering and some other stuff with the state for $1 million plus that is going to surface Iberia Street. That doesn't count with our 17.1, so that's another $1 million. And the Hopkins Street resurfacing and all the drainage, that is why Jane Street's blocked off. That's a state project. It's going to be a mess for a while, but that's underway. That's just showing you what we're doing with the tax dollars. Tomorrow, we bid out Little Brooklyn Park. That is the second little neighborhood park as the Ann Street Park that we talked so much about. So that bids tomorrow. That's another small neighborhood park. I was going to mention the Southern Living article, but, that's just awesome for a town our size to get that kind of recognition. We got a lot going on. It's the teamwork up here that makes it happen, and I appreciate that. And with that, I'm done. Motion to adjourn.
So move.
All right.
Second.